Also, I have a suggestion for this one because it's almost entirely Doc Scratch. I would suggest that we read this one as a round robin, like we were
Okay.
going to do with the Celeborn one.
Yes.
Like round robin, huh?
Everyone reads like a few lines, so basically a paragraph, or I guess in this case probably reads until the next major paragraph because there's a bunch of like short lines.
Ah, okay.
Also, I've been reading this on my own time. I haven't finished it yet. It's
Cool.
very fun. I like it a lot.
JoJo's
Yeah,
writing is
JoJo's
very
watching
fun.
You're a great writer. Anyway.
That is an incredible picture right there.
Oh yeah, that's Professor Scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Professor Scratch.
Immaculate.
He's the first guardian of Bepharus, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, summary for chapter 1. Professor Scratch, Bepharus' first guardian, gets the reader up to speed. So let's start with Alex, and then we'll go like down the Discord voice chat list.
Yeah.
I guess like
Yeah,
Okay,
like first.
so,
yeah, we'll split it up.
so everyone just gets their own paragraph until there's a line break.
Well, I would say until you get to a large paragraph or chunk of text, so like the first line and then the paragraph after that.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
So, we good to go, or am I waiting for something?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you're good.
Good morning. Please do pardon the clutter. I've never been much of a host. My name is Professor Scratch, and what you see before you is a vision premortem. For you see, my days are numbered. I know at least this much to be true. I know a lot of things, as a matter of fact. So many that a lesser scholar might get a big head about it. Proverbially speaking, of course. Should I do the next one just because it's like kind of the line?
No, you can pass it off to Anna.
Yeah, passing it off.
That was a joke. My apologies. While I do know a great many things, such as the inevitability of my demise, the various details of the world I do not know ever. My knowledge is expansive and vast, near omnipotent even, but the holes in my vision are like moth-eaten pocks in a patchwork quilt. Holes I've been readily mending on my own for some time. Only a few holes are left, and those are not up to me to fill, you see. The individual slated to fix these holes will be arriving shortly, as a statement of fact.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Until then, would you like to see a magic trick? Do you have a deck of cards? No? Very well. Then perhaps I can regale you with a tale. A tale of ages past. A tale that is tangentially related to the imminent guest who will be arriving shortly. The story is about the past, but one could argue is just as equally about the future.
The tale is about her imperious benevolence. You see, I've dropped the chapter's title in the dialogue here. Snappy, no. Anyway, long ago, on a gray planet known to its inhabitants as Bepharus, a woman ruled with an iron fist. The Empress. Little is known about this period of history, as trolls are not concerned particularly with the wheel of the past, but suffice to say, the Empress was not a pleasant woman. Her role in this story, happily though, is only with the following line. Her imperious benevolence bested the Empress in combat, securing the throne for herself.
The benevolent, her subjects called her, swore to be a kind queen, kinder than her predecessor, defending herself in stark contrast to the last regime. Unfortunately, the benevolent have a somewhat stilted notion of kindness, one that was particularly condescending. Lesser bloods further down in society make to be served their betters, while the greater bloods cared for them like the Lessi. Pardon me, you are familiar with Lessi, yes? And the chemo spectrum? I should hope so. So for the understanding of our tale, you have to... Very good.
Am I next?
Yep.
In spite of one tyranny being exchanged for another, deaths did decrease, and Lesser Bloods did see a happier existence under the benevolence and her rule. Unlike her predecessor, she did have a sunny disposition, and her face always smiling. Her gills always twitching, but those fangs showed themselves in every grin, and she made sure to adorn herself with the baubles of hard-fought conquest on her home planet and among the stars. She might have been sweet, but her empire will still rest on the back of her subjects, backs upon which she examined her ornaments and jewelry quite comfortably. Still, her bubbly personality and outwardly kind experience made her popular among the throngs of easily swayed masses, and those who disagreed with her were ambivalent. It appeared by apathy, the New World was in full swing. The New Order was in full.
But
The
one
New
time-
World Order was in full swing.
Sorry. But wanton cruelty was not the only issue that the benevolence had to contend with. There was another, more primal urge that swayed her species. For she was one of the highest blood, fuchsia, and as such, she had a deeply ingrained biological need that she and each other fuchsia shared, the need to best her peers. To contend for the throne, each generation one fuchsia blood was born to the mother grub, one that the benevolence feared. For if she were ever to engage her kin in combat, her reputation as the peaceful monarch of her society would crumble. Her solution? Raise her would-be heirs in solitude, then, when they came of age, have them obliterated.
Okay. This unsteady pact continued for years until, in the Brood Caverns, deep underground, a longtime friend and confidant of the Benevolence ran the troll reproductive process with frightening accuracy. The Grand Matron, as she was called, an austere and elderly troll living ages far past Jade Bloods had any business living. Her hair was ghostly white, her chitinous skin thick and ribbed, and her shallow orange gaze chilled the blood of her diligent jades. Among the Brood Caverns, it was rumored that the Benevolence endowed the Grand Matron with an extended lifespan in exchange for romantic deeds.
This, of course, like many rumors, was true in part only. The Grand Matron was afforded her lifespan due to her passion for the work, not romance. But the Benevolence offered the Grand Matron her life in exchange that the Grand Matron greased the wheels, so to speak. After all, whenever the fuchsia blood was born, it was the matron who turned the spawn over to her queen to be executed.
After generations of this gruesome ritual, the Grand Matron became tired. Tired of life, tired of paying for it with the lives of innocents. So one generation, quite recently, in fact, just 6.5 sweeps give or take a perigee, the Grand Matron took the fledgling fuchsia and stole away with her. The Grand Matron hid the wriggler away.
Did she do it out of that passion for the Swiggler? Did she do it simply to end her own tired life? Who's to say? But the child was safe from the Benevolence's clutches. Predictably, the Grand Matron was killed the same day in a rare fit of rage for the Benevolence. Teams scoured the globe to search for the heiress, but all came up short. After all, the Grand Matron didn't hide the progeny on the globe at all. And for those of you somewhat familiar with the story, you may be unsurprised to realize that the Wiggler hidden away those scant few sweeps ago grew up to be...
Yo, Scott, you there? I'm gonna break your locks.
Oh, please excuse me, dear reader. My guest has arrived.
That was good.
And I've got to run away.
This is good.
I
I
like how,
gotta
like,
like
three of us
actually
just
read
knocked.
this whole thing now.
Yeah, it's really
Bookmark.
good.
I'm gonna subscribe. Nope, bookmark.
I gotta open that one up and leave a kudos, because I forgot to do that.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
just
I
remember,
There
can't
we
believe
go.
about the
kudos and comment,
that I-
kids.
Yeah, like and subscribe.